Today, on Running to Him, we as Christians must always submit to integrity. If you're joining us and going through Proverbs, today's reading is Proverbs 19, verses 1 through 12, and we'll concentrate on verse 1. Proverbs 19:1 says, "Better is a poor man who walks in his integrity than he who is perverse in speech and is a fool." Well, I found this article on the web, and it fits today's verse so well, I copied it in its entirety. You will find the citation at the end. It was early December 2005 when 23-year-old Ian Rosenberger hung desperately to an ocean buoy off the coast of Palau in the western Pacific Ocean. He had been there for over 12 hours. To someone unfamiliar with the situation, Ian's condition might appear bleak. But Ian was not a castaway from a shipwreck. Instead, he was a contestant on the popular TV show Survivor, where contestants compete for a grand prize of $1 million. Ian was one of only 3 contestants left out of the original 20, and this was the last immunity challenge. If he won this challenge, he would be one of the final 2 contestants for the $1 million grand prize. Now, the challenge was a simple one, but a brutal test of endurance and perseverance. Each contestant would cling to the ocean buoy as it swayed, sometimes violently, in the waves, and one that could hang on as long as he would get a free pass to the final round. The other 2 contestants hanging onto the buoy were Katie Gallagher and Ian's best friend on the show, Tom Westman. Katie dropped out after 5 hours, just leaving Ian and Tom. Now, as the hours marched slowly, the challenge became increasingly difficult physically, but for Ian, the bigger challenge was psychological. Alone with his thoughts, he began to consider how he played the game and how much the $1 million meant to him. Ian could see a clear path to victory in his mind. If he won the challenge, he would get to choose which of the other 2 contestants to eliminate. He saw his friend Tom as the bigger threat. Ian felt that if he won the challenge and eliminated Tom, he would have a clear path to victory. Now, Ian was an Eagle Scout, and as he clung to the buoy, he began to repeat the words of the Scout law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal. Ian stopped. He knew he had been neither while playing the game. He said later, "I had been backstabbing people, and I was planning on doing that to my best friend in the game, and realized that I would lose that friend if I continued playing the game in the same way. Every time I pulled the money out of the ATM account with $1 million, it would bother me." Ian thought of the example he would be setting, especially for his younger sister. "I thought about scouting, and I thought about the people who would watch me win. They wouldn't have been proud." So Ian quit, not just the challenge, but the game. He gave up and asked his friend Tom to eliminate him. Tom reluctantly agreed, and the chance to become an instant millionaire was over for Ian. As Ian predicted, Tom went on to become the sole survivor and win the $1 million. Well, thinking back, Ian stated, "I realized it's not just winning the million. That's how you win it. That is what I learned in Scouts. It's not just accomplishing something, it's how you accomplish it that becomes important." He added, "I decided to bow out. That's because of the Scout law and because of my sister." Now, for Ian Rosenberger, living a life according to the values he learned in Scouting was worth more than $1 million. Does he have any regrets? Well, I can't say that the cash wouldn't come in handy right now, but I'm completely happy with the decision I made. I don't regret it at all. It's only $1 million. I left with pride and a story I could be proud of. Although if I stayed, I wouldn't be eating ramen noodles every day as I am now. Now, the moral is this: we as Christians must always submit to integrity. Thank you for listening. We pray that today's devotion was meaningful to you. We would love to hear from you. You can use either Facebook or YouTube to like, subscribe, share, and tell others about us. If you would like to contact us, you can reach me at phineasjacobus@runningtohim.net.